Alright guys, behind me is my dad's limited edition 2005 Dodge Ram 1500 SRT-10, and we're going to be giving him a surprise makeover and do some mods for the holidays. I'm really excited to do this for him. This is his pride and joy. This is his baby. I remember when he first got this truck, this was brand new off the lot. Before this, we only ever had like the regular 1500, so needless to say, we were all completely shocked. And this is one of my earliest memories of any performance vehicle in general. So I'm really excited to surprise him for the holiday. And one of the first parts of our makeover starts today. Now G Techniq has flown in all the way from headquarters to give this car a complete paint correction and full coating. I'm really excited to see what he thinks. Now my dad does know that we're doing a few things to the car, but this is going to be a multiple part series and we're not stopping with just the exterior looks. So everything starts today and I'm excited to see what the transformation looks like. Alright, so this truck only has like 65,000 miles. He was the very first owner of it, so it doesn't get driven that much. Just want to prove the exact mileage is 64,986, which is crazy. The car is 2005, so that's just insane to me. If you get a look in here, the car looks pretty much brand new on the inside. We're going to be starting with some exterior makeover stuff and then move to some performance things later on. If you're not familiar with the SRT-10 platform, that's basically the engine that Dodge put in the Vipers, and they had those engineers come together to help work on this car, and that's the engine that's in here. So it sounds sick, but we'd love to add a little bit more power, maybe get the noise a little more dramatic. So there'll be some really cool things coming up for this transformation, and to me, this is honestly still one of the coolest trucks that exists, and I'm excited to see what we can do with it. All right, we're here with Ilya and Chris from G Techniq. Flew all the way down here from headquarters to start our makeover on the SRT-10 truck. Now, when you guys said, you wanted a project, I'm sorry I gave you not only a truck, but a black truck, because I know that's more difficult, but we got this.
It looks better than what we were anticipating, so I think it's going to come out probably really good. Chris, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, for, 15 years old?
Yeah.
Over 15 years old, so for 15-year-old original black paint, you can't really complain. Yeah. He's done his best to take care of it, so we're going to do him right and make it perfect again.
So this is sort of a two-part process, right? We're going to be doing the paint correction first and then a coating.
Yep. So sort of three parts. So paint decon first. So we're going to give this thing a chemical bath, make sure it's as clean as possible. Then get into the paint correction, remove as much of the oxidation, the micro scratching, some of the deeper scratches as well. And then the fun stuff, ceramic coating, of course. It's going to look brand new. I can pretty much guarantee it.
I'm excited. Well, this is literally like my dad's pride and joy. This is his baby. So I know he is freaking stoked, and I'm excited to see the transformation. Can we walk around a little bit and then point out a few things?
Sure.
Because I know when you guys are doing the paint correction, it's important to know what has maybe been resprayed, correct?
Resprayed paint and clear sometimes reacts a little bit differently compared to OEM. So we'd like to at least take a look at some stuff. I mean, like this right here, we have a little bit of failing clear coat, so we can't really get rid of that, but all of this oxidation is going to come right out.
You're never going to get a scratch out. So what we do is you make it as close to perfect as you can. You get it as good as you can get it, right? So with the original paint, without removing too much clear coat, we're gonna, as safe as possibly, remove those scratches. And what you're doing is you're changing the reflection of light, because that's all a scratch is. It's the way the light reflects off of that clear coat that was now scratched, right? So we're gonna take that clear coat and we're gonna level it out, so most of these scratches you won't be able to see anymore.
If someone is about to take their car in to get this process done, would you recommend them not getting paint touched up because that's more likely to come off if it's recent?
I would say let the detailer do the touch-up paint. That way he can correct what's ever there and then do the touch-up paint. That touch-up paint isn't going to bond as well as OE, so it would definitely be left to the detailer to do that application. But again, if you did do it recently, just have whatever is left over with you and just keep it in the car just in case.
First part, decon?
Yeah.
Paint decon?
Yep.
Okay.
Full wash decon, iron fallout remover, multi-purpose cleaner. That way we get all the chemical contamination off the paint before we do our paint correction.
Oh, and throughout this entire process, I'm going to be trying to learn as much as I can, but I'm going to let them take the lead because they're the professionals, and I'm hoping that we can just talk as we're doing this so that as I'm learning, they can learn as well.
Absolutely. That's what it's all about. In order to see a scratch, it depends on the reflection of light. So to see a scratch, what you want to do is you hold your light at a 45-degree angle towards you, and that allows you to see all the stuff in the paint.
So many swirlies.
Yeah. So that's all the love that he's put on the truck over the years.
You know how like generally you wash a car, it looks better? Well, we got it under some good lighting and we got a lot of work to do. But it's all good, we can get it done. We're looking at like a 3-step correction and then obviously all the good coatings such as Ultra, C4, C5 and so on. So, and all of this is mineral deposits from water.
What?
So we're gonna remove all of that. All of this will be gone.
Wow.
Dang.
Well, I'm just exposing my dad right now, putting him on blast.
Basically like taking a dirty rag a lot of times, and then you're going like this, you know, you're getting that dirt stuck in the rag and you just keep wiping it with that dirt.
Always have a rinse bucket, y'all.
Right.
Always have the rinse bucket. Alright, so they've already started on the paint correction process, and we're just peeling back the layers now and finding all the truck secrets. We are finding that a lot more pieces than we expected have been resprayed, and there's a little bit more clear damage than we expected. I mean, it is an old car, so that is to be expected, right?
Yeah, and you know, granted, this truck didn't live in Florida its whole life. It's been here for a little bit now. The sun is very damaging for clear coat and paint. Over time, if you have, let's say, a white car and you let it sit in the sun, it'll turn yellow. That's just what the sun does. So you're kind of seeing that on a black vehicle here, where you're gonna get some failed clear coat, some hazing. You know, paint correction, the biggest thing is you don't want to go too far, right? So right now it still has clear coat on it, so we're gonna leave clear coat on it. So we're not really gonna go too much further with those areas. We'll hit a nice little polish on there so it makes it nice and glossy. But other than that,
you can tell this is where it was resprayed. Probably not resprayed the best, but I feel like the coating will help with that too.
Correct.
So once you do like a little bit of a polish and then apply the coating, it should get everything looking a lot more uniform. But the difference between where it's been resprayed to where is freshly buffed out is insane. That's a massive difference.
yeah, we're thinking that these bottom plastic pieces possibly been resprayed at some point just due to the color difference in the black.
It looks like maybe where it was repainted, they actually used the wrong paint. And that's why I was like, wow, I've never seen pearl on this truck before. And we're not sure that maybe the actual original paint had pearl. It's just this one area.
Yeah.
Or the clear is so bad over time everywhere else that we just can't see it. But look, so much pearl and flake. And then you go over here.
You can actually
Nothing.
see like the difference, like right there.
Isn't that insane?
So what you're seeing here in this hard line and that shape right there, that's from like the wet sanding, trying to blend it in so, with the clear coat. It's gonna look a lot better irregardless. You know, it's gonna glow, it's gonna be glossy. It's just realistically, as you know, from a professional detailing standpoint, you have to know when's enough, right? So like you have to safely get the paint as nice as you can without damaging it any further. That's all it really comes down to. So we're just getting that process locked in, and we'll get it nice and nice glossy.
Definitely not an easy job, but it'll be worth it.
So what we have here, I sectioned off 3 sections. So in the far section here, all in here, this is what we would call a one-step paint correction. This is just kind of starting to get the blemishes on the surface level of the paint. And you can see a lot of the water etchings and things like that we got out just with that first step. And then just to kind of give you guys a starting point, this is what it looked like before. All the swirls, water spots, all the etchings in there. And then this is what we're gonna kind of aim for at a minimum. So,
Way better.
a lot better.
Do the top of the hood, super easy.
We have the classic line comparison right here. So this side, corrected. This side, not corrected. This is where I'm gonna learn first. Oh wait, we got our light, so you can ultra inspect. This is so hard to see though without this light. I'm sure in the sunlight you'll be able to notice more things, but this light truly highlights every single imperfection. Sorry, Dad. But we're fixing it. So this is where I'm gonna learn how to do some paint correction for the very first time. I'm trying to talk me up so I'm not as scared or nervous. So I'm just gonna do my best and focus on this area. And you're gonna tell me exactly what to do, right?
Absolutely.
I'm gonna let you do this part though, because there's a curve there and I'm short, so I'm not gonna do up here or the curve. I'm just gonna do it right here. But what is the first thing that I should know?
All right, so just like sandpaper, we're gonna use different grits. Obviously, we're gonna start with lowest grit and then work our way up. So we're using the Rupes system. Blue is always going to be the most aggressive. Yellow is going to be right there in the middle, and then white is going to be the least aggressive. For today, we're going to be using a blue microfiber Rupes pad with blue Rupes polish. So we're going the most aggressive possible just because we have to do a lot of cutting. There's a lot of defects. Once we get those out, then we'll go least aggressive, polish all of the potential marks that this causes, because again, we are technically sanding the clear coat, and then eventually it'll be nice and shiny.
Starting off with that one, what should I just be cautious of when I'm doing this? Like, are you constantly checking with the light?
Because I've already done half the hood, we have a decent amount of clear coat to work with, meaning we can go pretty heavy with the cutting. And then the big misconception that you'll see a lot of times is detailers, they'll be like dancing, is what we call it. They'll just be like slinging it everywhere, moving really, really fast. We need to move slow. Clear coat, it becomes malleable as it heats up. And the more malleable it becomes, the more defects we can remove. We need to move slow across the surface in order to build that heat up so that we can cut more. What you're gonna do, you just pick an area, all right?
Here's my square.
Yeah, we're gonna lay it as flat as possible. So we don't want either end to be lifted. So just sort of find that middle ground, right? Right here at the top of the tool, there's gonna be like a little arch. We're gonna put our thumb at the top of that arch, and we're gonna push down at the very center right there. That point right there is actually the dead center of the pad itself.
Nice.
We're gonna hold the trigger, again, nice and firm.
That's so crazy.
You did that.
That is so satisfying. That's insane. That's so good. Oh my gosh, look at compared to this. Awesome, thank you.
Absolutely.
That was really cool. You're gonna do this top piece and then the whole hood
Yep.
is done.
Yep.
Where would you use the smaller tools?
So like if you have an area where you have like trim or rubber on both sides, and so you would use the small tool, or you would take it off and then use the small tool. If you have to get behind, like say behind this.
Thank you. I've always like wanted to learn, but it's just so intimidating when you don't have someone literally walking you through the process step by step.
Well, you did it on black 15-year-old paint, so pretty much everything else should be fairly easy compared to this.
I think that's better. You start with the hardest, worst case scenario, and anything new that you want to learn, just like when I wanted to learn how to paint, it's like, let's spray a candy, let's do flake on top of that, let's do House of Color paint too, and let's do a fade. And that's what I learned with, and now any other paint job I do will be very easy, and now hopefully any other correction job I do will be a lot easier.
Yeah.
Now we got the rest of the truck too.
Yeah, so get to work.
Yeah, thanks. Everyone's gonna leave now. I got this. I got this. I've definitely never seen like water spotting as bad as what you guys showed me on this truck, and now it's glass.
Literally, yeah.
It's a mirror now. So thanks guys. Now I'll have a place to do my makeup all the time. Wow.
A rolling mirror.
But this spot right there, you can tell where I did it, you know. I can't believe how much you guys were able to like bring back though from how bad the paint was. Right now the guys behind me are finishing up the very last step, which is doing the ceramic coating with the Crystal Serum Ultra. My dad is going to absolutely love this. The car has been completely transformed already, and I can't wait to see it when it's completely finished. Okay, it's been a few days now, and our coating is 100% cured. Here are the final results. Absolutely killed it. This was the ultimate detailer's curse. It was a 4-step full stage correction. We did 2 steps were just cutting and doing the paint correction specific process. The other 2 steps were all the polishing, and then they completely ceramic coated the entire car. And I think all in, they were about 55 plus hours. The last night they were here finishing everything up until 3 a.m. and it has absolutely transformed the car. If you think about it, because they did the tonneau cover, they kind of coated an entire truck and like half of another car. So, and it's black, so they took this really hard challenge and have completely transformed the car. I'm so excited to see what my dad thinks, and I'm honestly really excited to see his reaction to this video, to see how bad it really was to start. So definitely after this, when we reveal the truck to him, we're going to go through some detailing 101 to keep all of this work staying as nice as possible for as long as possible. So this is just part 1 of the transformation to surprise my dad by restoring his limited edition SRT-10 Ram truck. Now that we have this taken care of, we still have headers, a tune, and a full engine bay restoration coming up. There are still a few panels that I need to repaint, and then I'm going to do some of the polishing and coating on my own. We're also going to be polishing the wheels, so stay tuned for all of that and his final reaction. Big shout out and thank you to G Techniq for making this entire thing happen. I know now I'm going to see cars differently, which it's sort of a curse now on myself, because now I walk by a normal car and I'm seeing all these things that I never noticed before. But now that I'm painting, I can do something about those things. But this is a massive, massive step in the transformation with G Techniq. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and all the products that we used in this video will be in the description as well.